Welcome back.
It's episode 10.
It's episode 10, baby. And
that's a lot.
It is a lot. We have so many exciting things today, which is why you're nice up close and personal.
Come closer.
Come closer. I'm so sorry. We have merch out.
Like, look, first of all, okay,
there, the stickers are up there.
Yes.
The stickers are on Etsy. We have baby tees. We have crop tees, crop tanks. We have full tanks, full tees. Sweatshirts.
And we have stuff for the guys
hats.
And the gals,
yes.
by the way.
We have a black and white logo that we worked on.
Yeah.
I figured out how to do Photoshop. I'm really proud of myself.
Go Spencer!
Thanks.
Go you.
And yeah, so we're really excited. We're gonna add more stuff. Of course, we have a lot of stuff for the girls, but yes, we have a lot of guy-friendly stuff as well.
We do. We have lots of I love our t-shirts. I think our t-shirts are so.
It's like all the t-shirts are unisex.
Yes,
so
exactly.
Yeah.
And we even have guy tanks as well. The sweatshirts are also unisex.
So
and
good.
If you're not a pink girl or a pink guy, we do
or a
have
pink whatever you are.
Yeah, a pink literally anyone, a pink human,
literally anything.
Because I think I am pink embodied, and so is Spencer. We are just pink as a human. And if that's not you,
pink personified.
Yeah.
If you don't love that,
if that's not you,
it's
we
fine.
have we have a black and white logo that Spencer worked really hard on, and it's on a white sweatshirt, a black sweatshirt, a gray sweatshirt. We have it yes, we
blue
have
or
it on tank tops. T-shirts.
Pretty much everything is at least in black and white, and then usually pink, gray. I started to do a navy in there. We want to try as football season comes on, maybe to do some fun Broncos thing. I've been working on doing a navy and orange logo.
Yes, we've been having lots of fun designing the merch, and honestly, I'm really proud of it. I know that you're really proud of it. We worked really hard. We came up with really cute sayings, and I think that it came out so well.
I agree.
So we'll put the link below, and you got to go check it out. And if you want to rock some sports everywhere you go, then you can.
And tag us if you please tag us if you
Oh
wear
my
it.
gosh,
So
I
we can
want
start,
to see it. I will scream.
I want to be able to do a compilation
Yes.
of everyone thank you, Ryan, our first model.
She looks beautiful.
We'll put her down here, of course.
Yes. Yeah, we'll literally put a picture of her if she's cool with that. We love you so much. She looks
She will be. I'm putting it whether you want to or not. Sorry, Ryan.
It's a pink on pink take up space with a little tiny esports logo under.
For the women in sports.
Women in sports. Period. But it's this really cute bubblegum pink with the brighter pink that says take up space. It's so freaking cute.
So cute.
And she looks amazing.
And she got it. Literally, we were laughing because she got hers before Caitlin and I even have our own merch.
We have not seen our own yet.
She posted a picture of the package, and I was like, wow, it would be really awkward if it did not print out correctly.
Honestly,
but it looks amazing.
The website must have heard me just say Ryan is priority mail. Okay,
priority
they
mail.
were put her in first.
She was the first one, baby, as she should be.
Literally, but so that's super exciting for us. We're both so proud of it. We both worked so hard on it, and I just think it looks so good, and it's going to be it's just so weird. I'm smiling ear to ear because it's just so weird to think about people
wearing stuff that we made.
I know, it's
supporting
crazy.
us. You guys are so amazing.
Stop! I can't.
I'm
blushing.
I know. I'm gonna cry. I'm literally, my cheeks are warm. But on to another order of exciting business. We are so super excited to announce our first partner in Wunderfan. That is not W-O. That is W-U-N-D-E-R-F-A-N.
One word.
One word.
So listen, here's the thing. This is why I'm excited. One thing to know about me and Spencer is that we are true to us and true to what we love.
Yes.
And when we were reached out to about this opportunity, we were stoked. We literally both downloaded the app right away, and we were both like, this is incredible. It is literally a stadium rewards app, first of its kind. So you get the app, you create an account, and then you literally just get to earn rewards.
At any stadium you're at, you literally check in as soon as you get there.
You click start.
And if they don't have the venue you're at, you literally just message them and they will have that solved in a few business days. Yeah, they will add it for you. So literally you check in and you are literally earning rewards to your
just by existing there.
Just by existing.
The coolest part about this app is that as you're earning these rewards, when you earn enough rewards, you get to redeem the awards at like stores that we all know and love.
That we actually like for the girls and the guys. Guys love Lulu. So I think everyone loves Lulu. So Lululemon. Oh, we love Lululemon. Lululemon, Dick's, Champion, and
47 brand.
47 brand is one of my favorite. They make really cute Bronco stuff. I have a few Bronco shirts from 40 and hats from 47 brand.
There's nothing better than an app where you literally just get to
do you exist and earn points and
exist. Yeah, check them out. Download that app and get her done, baby. Welcome back again. We might look a little different.
We have some news. We might be somewhere a little different. So here's the funny story, and we're gonna try and do a long story short, which I'm very bad at. But
long story long.
Long story longer. You guys, if you follow us on social media, probably knew that Caitlin last minute booked a flight for 36 hours so we could film with the lovely Live Moods. And we were going to do that over Zoom that we had never done before.
And technology failed us.
And yet again, like when we tried to record our very first episode and lost that, we didn't ever have it. So we recorded with Liv and it's nowhere. So
ever. It's gone into outer space.
We likely could blame me, but I'm not going to. So
I would never.
So that's why
what?
Period. The dog is doing that. So that's why we're here and back and changed. And we're here for NFL Week 1, but we wanted to introduce you to our merch and ad because we really liked that footage. So we're keeping it.
Yes. And it was good. We did a good job.
We did a good job. But I have never been more excited to film an episode in my entire life.
Guys. We have been holding in so much because we've been waiting to fully talk about everything until we could talk about it for you guys. Okay, welcome back.
Again. Anyway, so this is episode 10. This is NFL Week 1, baby.
And we're so happy to be here.
I've never been happier, I think, to be here.
No, literally.
We're entire life.
I just there's nothing better than football season. I love the NBA and I am such a basketball girly, but
sports are back.
NFL.
And even college football, we're not going to be talking about that. But listen, on Saturday, I got to watch college football all day long, rotting away on my couch, horizontal, delicious.
That was me on Sunday.
Oh, so yummy. And then Sunday. So yummy. Then on Sunday, I had 4 games playing at once. And I just flipped around to which one I wanted to hear at the time. Oh my God, it was delicious.
I love that for you.
It was so good. I love it for me too. And tonight there's another game. Baby, we're going to film this
excited.
And get it out for you same day, which we never do.
Nope. Yeah, we're going to literally film this and when we're done
Pump
filming.
It out for you.
Yep, we're going to go edit
and we're
going
to watch.
Get her done.
We're going to watch the game starting of week 2 and we will be back to you next week to talk about that.
I'm so freaking excited. Also, this is super random. If you know me, you know I love Dr. Pepper.
What?
And you're like, oh, I know, right? So weird. And
Crazy.
you're like, Caitlin, that's not a normal Dr. Pepper can. This is Dr. Pepper Cherry Zero Sugar. It's a lot of words, but it's delicious.
It is yummy. It's delicious.
It's fabulous. I just wanted to tell you
They don't
that.
sponsor us yet.
But they will.
Hop on it.
Dr. Pepper, you will.
So Caitlin and I actually got to watch, 1.5 games together. Yes. So I picked her up on Thursday. And we're going to pretty much be talking about every game tonight, baby.
Yes, we are.
Every game from last week.
We're going to add chapters and stuff like that. So if you don't care about every single game, feel free to click through, pick what game you want to listen to us talk about. Yeah. But it's going to be a good one.
It's going to be a good one.
You might as well stay for the whole thing.
I mean, come on. Sports are back. You might as well listen to 2 girls scream excited about it. Yap about it. So I picked Caitlin up.
I love this game.
Yeah. I picked Caitlin up in literally the last quarter of Kansas City, Baltimore, which was the first game of the NFL season this year.
And it was a good one.
And it was a good one, baby. We went through highs. We went through lows. on the way, and then someone had some big ass toes. You like that rhyme? Caitlin and
Isaiah.
we're in the car. Both Caitlin and I, as people that support the Broncos, she's a diehard, like lifelong Broncos fan.
Yep.
So no one likes the Chiefs around here.
We don't. We're
I'm
not
a bit
Chiefs
sick of them winning, to be
girlies.
honest.
Yeah.
I've had enough. We were so excited when Isaiah Likely made that catch. Only we screamed. We scrumped.
When I tell
The
you,
screams we scrumped.
she was driving, okay? So like she was driving and so she had to focus. And
I was like,
I'm sitting here.
my one eye's like...
Yes, I was literally punching the ceiling of her car.
We literally
like,
screamed out loud. This is how we watch sports, which is very fun.
it's really obnoxious, but it's great.
It's very obnoxious. And we were so excited until we heard the play is going to be, we're going to rewatch.
Okay, and like I just want to like, first of all, big shout out to Isaiah Likely because literally the play right before the touchdown pass that got called back or whatever, or was called out, right before that, he had literally just gotten like injured and no one knew if he was like going to be okay. We thought he like cracked ribs. No one knew. And I was like, oh my God, this is so awful. And then like 5 minutes later, he's like, no, bitch, I'm back in the game.
Back in the game, baby.
Straight up. And he obviously caught this pass. And this is the one thing that I absolutely love about NFL wide receivers is that they are so aware of the field and like the out of bounds lines. And so like, you know, obviously we had that Cortland Sutton catch last year where like literally toes just on the out of bounds.
They look like
line.
ballerinas.
Yes, they're so perfect. And so Isaiah Likely did just that, literally tried his best. He got 1 foot in, or at least so we thought. That first foot went down, and then the second foot went down, and he made sure he was falling out of bounds, and he made sure to like point those toes and try to like get both of them down and get the 2 feet out. And then after review, his toe
I'm going to put it here.
was on the line.
And Nuggets fans will understand it was some MPJ ass shit.
Yep, some MPJ, KD.
Some long toes, like the amount of threes that those boys would have if they could had shorter toes. I wanted to cut off Isaiah Likely's toe.
I literally said, I was like, if I was Isaiah Likely, like I would go home and I'd just start sawing my toes off.
Yeah.
I'd be like, we don't need these anymore.
My first note of the game was Kansas City wins by a toe.
A toe.
So that
but like what an exciting
I feel like that was
to
the biggest,
such a good game.
the biggest story to the beginning of, you know, the games. And then in other news, as they like to do every year, the dogs have destroyed our props. But here's my theme of the week.
Flags
Flags
on
everywhere.
flags on
Flags
flags
on flags. You get a flag. You get a flag. You get a flag. 5
Thank
yards
you,
back. 20 yards
Oprah.
back. Thank you.
15-yard penalty.
Oh my God.
Penalty decline.
If I had
illegal
taken
formation.
Illegal formation on illegal formations. If I had taken a shot every time there was a flag, I think I would be dead right now.
Literally.
I
have never seen so many flags.
I mean, it's the beginning of the season. I love how the refs, for whatever reason, at the beginning of the season, we're cracking. They like crack their knuckles.
You're
like,
cracking down.
They're like, we're cracking down. We're calling everything, baby. And like, then the players get mad. They're like, they've never called this before. I'm like, it's the beginning of the season, honey. Let's mind our P's and Q's.
They literally...
They act so tough.
Yes. And
for
like,
the first.
And it's just like, it's so annoying because like you're literally just stopping the game every like 6 seconds. I mean,
I want to watch football.
Yeah.
I know that I feel like sometimes they get it confused, but I did, like the jerseys I was planning on watching were not ones that were black and white and striped.
Yeah.
Those were not, that wasn't on my fantasy team. I didn't draft them this year.
I actually have never been a fan of the NFL USA referees. That team.
Never ever. I hate that team. That team's really annoying.
Least favorite team in the NFL.
They're a little biased.
Super annoying. Quite literally super frustrating.
We had to touch on that because, I mean, like, we're going to talk about, like, actually the games, but, I mean, it was wild. Every single game on Sunday.
Truly, yes.
Thursday, Friday.
Everything.
Monday.
One thing that I do like, though, I do just want to, like, shout out to the NFL for this. I love that they've been explaining all of the calls. Like, you have, like, all the pop-ups. Like, they did it at the Broncos game, at the preseason game that we went to. But they have, like, all the pop-ups. And it's just, like, it's nice because, again, they're calling things that sometimes we haven't seen them call in a very long time. So it's really nice to like have it up there, especially for people who don't watch sports very much. But like, even just like for people like me who like, why are you calling that? Like, what did you see that I didn't see? Because
what did I miss?
Yeah, what was I missing? But they've been like putting the little blurbs about what each call was and stuff like that. Love that. Very cute. Very cutesy.
Not very demure.
Sure wasn't. But yeah, so, and I just also want to add with like the whole Chiefs Baltimore game and stuff like that. Like,
let's talk about it.
Yeah,
How do you feel about it?
God,
Caitlin, I think
I hate the Chiefs.
I'm so sick of them. But I also think that poor Lamar Jackson has no freaking help.
No. He got to do it all by himself, man.
That's like literally like what we kept saying. Like the offensive line. What are you doing?
No.
Baltimore secondary?
What are you doing?
Like, when I'm watching the game and I'm seeing cornerbacks behind receivers?
Yep. Straight up.
Excuse me, sir.
Where are you going?
Are you just like watching? You're like, oh my God. You're like, look, he's going to go run the ball. Wait, was I supposed to be doing something?
Was I supposed to pass?
Oh my God. Wait, was I supposed to be blocking that?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I feel like the Ravens offense was just like so not only like disorganized, but like I mean they were just like so out of sync. Like I don't think anything was like
I mean everyone knows that like the offensive line is really young, but I was just like I couldn't believe it.
No, me neither.
I felt so bad for Lamar Jackson.
Me too.
And they like Baltimore just crumbled at the end. Like everything like was up to pace, and at first I feel like the Baltimore offense like started off kind of shaky again because the offensive line was rough.
Yeah.
But Lamar had no help, and like eventually he literally just started running it. He's like, fine, if y'all are just hold my beer,
said,
please.
I'm gonna do it by myself. Thank
hold
you.
my beer. I guess I'll do everything. You guys aren't gonna do shit for me.
Yep. And that's like that's something that like I love and appreciate about Lamar Jackson is that he's a fantastic rushing quarterback. And so like
oh my God,
but they're so lucky that he is.
What was wasn't he leading the entire team or both teams in rushing?
Yes, he had the most rush yards in the entire game. Yeah. And I'm talking I think it was by like 20 plus yards. He was the leading rusher in the game.
The other thing, like Xavier Worthy, why did the Chiefs get him?
So fast, so talented. I have been so happy to like watch him. I'm so sad he's on the Chiefs. Just because
he was so fun to watch, and I don't want to enjoy watching anyone on the Chiefs but him. And I also enjoy I also enjoy watching Rashee Rice. But like
me too.
I was like Xavier Worthy.
And that's like the hard part. It's so funny is that like Kansas City has so many players that like are so likable to like watch and everything like that. But I like as a team, I'm like, can you stop? Can you stop beating my teams? Can you stop winning?
I don't like loving this.
Not live, laugh, loving this at all. Like no. I don't like being a Broncos fan right now with the Chiefs in the AFC West with me.
Oh my God! But and my like other thing, like shout out to MF Derrick Henry. He was a Titan, so he was a favorite when I was bartending in Nashville, and like I've never been like a Titans fan.
Yeah.
But he's always been like beloved everywhere he goes. He was such a bully. Like I love a good running back that is gonna go out there and just get you a first down.
Yes,
like
totally.
That's how when I was
you're tried and true. Like,
you're tried and true bully that you're like, oh don't worry. Like people that don't normally watch, you're like, he's running right into traffic. I'm like, he's gonna get through.
He'll be just fine.
Don't you worry.
Yep. And some people, like, that's the thing is like some running backs have that power. Some do not. Some you're going to have to make a hole for them. Some they're going to have to go around. But guys like Derrick Henry just can plow their way through. They don't care.
With stats things, so Patrick Mahomes was 18 of 26. I mean, Kansas City still looks good, whatever.
Blah, blah, blah. Kansas City Chiefs are probably still the best team in the league currently.
291 passing yards, whatever.
Super annoying, whatever.
So Xavier Worthy got 2 touchdowns. So he got 1 rushing and 1 receiving.
Yep.
And that Patrick Mahomes like ran after the ball and got the ball that he got the first touchdown. It was really cute. I was like, oh my God, I still don't like you guys though.
I know. And like I said, he's just, man, he's so good. He's so fun to watch.
And then Lamar threw for 273 yards and ran for 122 more.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he literally was the leading rusher by 20 plus yards.
Yeah, the young offensive line just made his life really hard. And I felt, and like the second to last, it really did feel like they were crumbling, because like the second to last play of the game, he missed a wide open Zay Flowers, and they could have gotten that.
No, totally. When you're... I feel like you have to just start getting frustrated towards the end when you realize that like you're probably just going to be running the ball in order to like get open. And that's also a testament to the Chiefs defense, not just like a boo Ravens offensive line.
Like even in the beginning you could tell that the Chiefs defense just like, it was annoying. Yes, like the Baltimore started off not getting anywhere.
Baltimore, I was gonna say Baltimore couldn't get anywhere at all.
I will say another, Isaiah Likely, besides that last night, did look great, but I forgot I wrote this down because I did my notes on Monday while like everything was fresh. So did you see what he said? Mm-mm. Isaiah Likely had this to say if they meet again with the Chiefs. If this is the best they got, good luck in the postseason.
I did see that.
Bold statement, my dude, to issue one of the greatest quarterbacks ever after your team just lost.
Yeah, that's a bold statement.
But from you too, like obviously it was a great catch, but your toe was out of, I don't know. I was like, wow, bold.
I want to say this about the stupid toe too. I feel like they should like look at changing that like rule.
What rule?
Like the toe being on the line. Like I feel like it's like the majority of your foot.
Yeah.
I think
because it's not like that is because where do you judge it? It's like how much, you know what I mean? It's like, when does it end? It's like when does it end?
It's just so annoying. But I just want to say before we move on to the next game, like for this one, I'm gonna repeat myself. The Kansas City Chiefs are one of 8 teams that have won back-to-back championships. None of the 8 teams that have won back-to-back championships have even gone to the Super Bowl for a third year in a row, let alone obviously won one. My prediction is that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be the first to go back the third time. I think that they still looked just as dominant.
I think they still look just as dominant, but I will say that
they have some competition this year though.
Yes, like it's like we always say with NBA, because we do both on this show, that it's like the Western Conference is always so dominant, but West AFC has gotten even better. I feel like they had competition that was on the rise last year, and then now it's here. Like they better be playing again their best brand of football. But
absolutely,
for the first game of the season,
bold one. Yeah, that's my bold take. I just want to put it out there. I want everyone to hear me say it.
I literally have I do, but we'll talk about it later.
It's
not even bold if you know me. So moving on to, before we got into Sunday, and we have all the rest of the 32 teams to talk about.
They had 13.
They had a Friday game.
Yeah. Because it was in Brazil.
It was, was
that good?
Yes.
Julia?
I can't roll my R's. I'm not going to try. I don't want to embarrass myself. You guys are going to make fun of me. Brazil?
Okay, that was good.
Okay, thanks.
You did pretty good. I liked that.
So we had Julia over so she could watch, and it was so much fun because
Julia's our beautiful Brazilian friend.
And I love when my friends are totally open to letting me kind of teach, but I'm like never doing it in a
condescending way.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I love football, and it took me so many years, and I tell everyone that because they're like, I've been watching for so long, but it's still really hard. I'm like, oh yeah, I've been watching football since I was like born, and I feel like I still learn something every year. Anyway, Caitlin and I had the best time because again, football, there's so many players. It's so much harder to grasp, in my opinion, than I feel like NBA is a little bit easier to pick up simply just because you have less players. So it's easier to follow, I think. And
less players, less positions.
The things and like downs and the penalties. So it was so fun. Julia came over and she was like, we were like, oh, it's in Brazil. She goes, yeah, I thought that's why you invited me. We're like, no, sister.
We just love you.
We just love you. But slay. So it was in Brazil. A lot of people were a little upset about it. Everyone was whining about the field and like the blah, blah, and the reffing, and they said it was a disaster. And I'm like, who cares?
It's football.
Apparently, Julia said they have the 3rd largest NFL fan base, like American football base.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
That is great.
And yeah, I didn't have too many notes. The teams combined for 17 penalties and 4 turnovers. Caitlin?
Yeah, it was again, the flags.
But
there were so many.
What I do have to say, and again, as a Cowboys fan, you guys might, if you're watching this and you're a Cowboys fan, you might want to mute this, but because I know I'm supposed to hate the Eagles with every fiber of my being, but Saquon Barkley, the man that you are,
He is so good.
he is so good. In his
So
Eagles
good.
debut, 3 touchdowns.
Yep.
2 on the ground and 1 receiving, baby. With for a total of 132 yards, my friend.
Yep. No, that's he showed out. He was one of those guys that like everyone, I think a lot of people bet on him, and I think he got a lot of people a lot of money.
He got me money.
Yes,
And
yeah.
He got me a lot of money.
He was fantastic. He just did
so
such
good.
a good job. And I do also just want to like say this about the Eagles too, with Jason Kelsey retiring and stuff.
You can tell.
Yes, you can tell.
Centers are important.
Centers are one of like the most important,
Underrated, I want to say.
Yes.
Like one of the most underrated
yes,
positions.
being able to like snap a perfect snap,
And you can see
then
that
go
Jalen
and
Hurts
block.
is hurting.
Yeah, and then be able to like go and, be an efficient blocker as well. And they're just, they're missing that. Jason Kelsey was probably one of the best to do it. And,
luckily, like the Eagles pulled it out in the end, but they did not.
They did.
They didn't look great.
No,
they
I
had
would
3
say-
turnovers.
Yes, and let's also talk about, because it was Packers and Eagles.
Yeah.
Jordan Love.
I literally have poor Jordan Love.
Yes, Jordan
Sorry,
Love.
bud.
Sorry, bud. That makes me super
But
sad.
it's MCL, correct?
I think.
I think it's MCL, not ACL. So I think 6 weeks.
Yeah, and I think they were saying it was like a sprain, not like a full tear. But still, it sucks. Like I feel like I was really looking forward to watching him this season, and like he was so good last season, and he was really gonna. I felt like he was really gonna like break out this season. That was like one of my predictions, was that Jordan Love was gonna have like a really good breakout season. So I'm really sad to see him injured. That freaking sucks. But
No, sorry, Packers fans.
I did pick up Malik Willis on my fantasy football team. Malik Willis had, I think, 2 incomplete passes, or it was like an incomplete pass, and then like, I don't know, like
You're so funny.
I know he did really bad at the end of the game, but obviously like he wasn't expecting to go in like the last play of the game. It was literally like 20 seconds left in the game. It was awful.
Yeah.
But I think that after having like a week and a half of practicing
With the starters,
like with your, your first string offense, I think that he's going to be a lot better and a lot more prepared this week. And I think that the Packers are going to make sure that he's prepared. I don't think they want to set him up for failure.
No.
And so I think they'll be okay this next week. But prayers up. Jordan Love.
Just like Lamar Jackson, I felt like Jalen Hurts needs some help, because towards the end he was trying to do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, when you're trying to like put the entire offense on your back, it's hard.
It's hard. But he did connect. I was telling Caitlin this earlier. He did connect with AJ Brown for a 67-yard touchdown in the third, which is the second longest touchdown pass of his career. So I was like, oh, slay.
Yep.
And they squeaked out a win.
They pulled out the win.
I
would say it was a really big offensive battle. It was like one of those that like penalty, score, penalty,
penalty,
score,
penalty,
score.
penalty, score, penalty, score.
Yay! It was a lot of penalties, a lot of scoring. I would say there wasn't like a ton of defense in this game.
So yeah, not too much of a defensive game. On to Sunday.
13 NFL games.
Oh,
Best day of my life.
Scrumptious. I literally
Scrumdiddly-umptious.
I ate it up. I sat on my couch with my friend's dog and my book, and I watched 4 games at a time. And if there was ever a commercial or halftime at the same time, I would read a little bit. It was
I love that.
My perfect day on paper. 100%.
I love that.
8 of the 13 games on Sunday, Caitlin, were decided by 1 score.
Yep. They were all
crazy.
Close games. And
Not all.
Well, I was going to say
Vikings.
all of those 8
Panthers.
games. Yes. Yeah. Besides the
Yes. Oh, yes. Those, there were some close games. And in the best game of all, Caitlin.
Was it?
Cowboys. Super Bowl, baby. Super Bowl 2025, baby. That's right.
Is that your bold take?
Yeah, no, it's not a bold take. We're back. Dak Prescott got that money, honey. CeeDee Lamb got his money, honey. And Micah Parsons is next.
Yeah, and I just want to say, with Dak Prescott, highest paid NFL player in NFL history. He got a 4-year, $240 million extension the morning of.
And he said, I'm worth my motherfucking extension, baby.
Yeah. No, he came out and he played.
He said, "Oh, you're gonna pay me? I'll pay you right back."
Yes. No, truly. He came out and he said, I got paid. Here you go.
Lamar Jackson is one of my fantasy QBs and Dak is the other. So
I love that.
I love
was
you so
fantastic.
much. Dak finished 19 of 32 for 179 yards, including a 21-yard touchdown to Brandon Cooks in the first quarter. That game was so delicious because I don't think you understand my hatred for the Browns. And maybe that's because my ex is a fan of the Browns. Maybe it's because Deshaun Watson is the worst human being alive. I don't know. It's kind of like amazing how you can be such a terrible human and you play even worse.
Yeah, honestly, that's like the best part. Like if he was a good quarterback, I'd be like really pissed off. But like I'm kind of happy that he is bad.
I don't give an F. The Cowboys, they did it all, baby. They looked so good.
I'm so annoyed about it.
Defense looked so good. Micah Parsons had four solo tackles and a sack. He won the inaugural Tom Brady LFG Game Award. Kevontae Turpin had a 60-year punt return. 60-yard punt return touchdown.
By the way, that is sexy football.
Oh
there
my
is
gosh.
nothing I love more than a kick return that is returned for a touchdown.
Oh my gosh.
Return.
Because it's rare, so it
is. And it's just like, it's beautiful. Like you get to see these guys just like weave through defense and you get to see their offensive line or like the special teams line just blocking the crap out of people.
Period.
It's so beautiful. And about the Cowboys defense.
Yeah.
6 whole sacks. That's crazy.
Yeah, you take that disgusting human being, period. They said, I got sisters and I got sisters, wives, daughters, and I'm coming for you. You should not be in the NFL.
Yeah, 6 sacks, monsters.
And Zeke said, I'm back again. He said, I'm back. He got a rushing touchdown. For all of you MFers that said Zeke's old. First of all, he's 29. Is Caitlin old?
29?
Zeke said, I don't care if I just had the worst season of my career because you know what? It's about your environment. And
product of your environment.
Once you want to be a star, you always want to be a star. Baby. There were 4 long field goals from their kicker, a 57-yarder, 50-yarder, 46-yarder, and a 40-yarder.
That's pretty fantastic. And to make all 4 of them.
Yes.
That's great.
And on the Browns side, Watson was sacked 6 times, as we just said, and threw 2 interceptions. Womp womp.
Womp womp.
Boo. Tomato, tomato. They could never make me like you, and you deserve to be in prison.
Sucks to suck.
Sorry. Myles Garrett is the only good player on the Browns, and he was astounding. Not the only good player. The Browns, apparently, with their elite defense, clearly.
Wasn't that elite?
Did not look elite. Myles Garrett was astounding per usual. The Browns were forced to punt the ball 7 times. Shout out again to the Dallas Cowboys defense and turn it over on downs twice.
Wow. Love that. I love that. It was yeah, I don't know. It was a very monstrous game by the Cowboys.
Can we I don't even care about the Browns. Again, I have hatred for the Browns, but these guys need another quarterback because he was 24 of 45.
Yep.
For 169 yards
rough.
at 3.8 yards per attempt.
Also rough.
That's okay. He had 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions, and yeah, for so many reasons, the Browns need to move on.
We need to. They would have been better off with Baker Mayfield.
But you know what?
Baby.
They can't actually let him go because cutting him would incur a $92 million cap hit with $120 million in dead money. Oh.
Ow.
Oh, they can simply make him inactive every week. And and that's only fair for Cleveland because you were dumb enough to give him the money in the first place. Sorry, but I'm not.
I'm not.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Get rid of Deshaun. Goodbye. Yeah, Cowboys took care of business, baby, in their first game because we're sick of getting 12-win seasons and doing nothing in the playoffs. So that's nothing like what this is turning out to look like.
Not at all.
This doesn't look like last season.
You want to know who didn't take care of business?
I already know, but tell the class.
The Denver Broncos.
And I told Caitlin, I said, listen, my Cowboys won the Broncos need all the help they can get, so I'll represent, baby. Woo!
I just hold on.
Take all the time you need.
It's gonna be a minute.
Take all the time you need. I'm
Guys, okay, listen. Well, so first of all, let's just talk about the rarity of the Broncos Seahawks game. The Broncos had 2, almost 3 safeties. 2, almost 3. You normally do not see even like 1 safety in a whole game. Like it's very rare to get a safety, or never. Like there's very few times where you're in field position to get a safety. And for the Broncos to have 2, and they almost had 3. The only reason they didn't have 3 was because they called the guy down on the 1-yard line. Even though he was like pushed over at the
and
end
I got to see my friend on the field doing his little safety dance. It was it was a great day for me.
Yes, and so the Broncos defense in the first half looked
great. But I also want to say to you all, before we like really get into the game, and Caitlin and I are gonna have some discourse, if you turn on your rookie quarterback in the very first game of his career,
no sir,
against the Seahawks' wonderful defense,
no sir, Bob.
It took you how many minutes? It took how many? I was on Twitter and I was like kind of disgusted. Leave the poor kid alone. This is his first game and he's expected to suddenly revive the Broncos and make them the Super Bowl champions?
Yes, let me preface this with like, Bo Nix, did he show amazing promise in preseason? Of course, but that is preseason. And he's a fantastic quarterback.
Third stringers going against other third stringers. Or not even, but like, back. You're not playing the same competition.
No.
And this is your first game. And I think you and I always say, like, he always looks, very calm in the pocket.
Yeah.
And he didn't show it, but you could tell he was frazzled.
Yes.
It was just like those rookie mistakes, though, like throwing into high traffic and, almost turning the ball over because
several times. Yeah.
So I just, again, should your like rookie quarterback throw the ball 42 times? No, I don't think that was like, but that's not his decision.
No, that's what I was going to say is like, that's what's frustrating about all of this is that like everyone is putting this all on Bo Nix, but guess what? The Seahawks had some of the best coverage I have ever seen. I mean, I don't think there were more than like 5 times where there was an open receiver or tight end or anything on the Broncos. There were very few times where there was anyone open. And so it's not like he had open receivers to throw to. And so, yes, there were a couple of terrifying passes, but Sean Payton kept calling passing plays. And like, we have Javonte Williams and McLaughlin and these guys that you can run the ball.
They didn't use the run game at all. They completely avoided the run game.
Completely.
And I was like looking up little stats, and rookies in their first start are 2-20 all time when attempting 32 or more passes in a game.
Yeah.
So Bo Nix threw the ball 42 times and dropped back to pass another 7 times where he either scrambled or was sacked. So I honestly think it was a coaching, like a lot of it was a coaching thing. And I do think, I didn't watch the thing, but it looked like Sean Payton kind of took up for Bo Nix.
Yeah.
But like,
I think a lot of people did. I think a lot of people like really backed him because too, like I said, like while a lot of it or some of it was on Bo Nix, like there were also 3 or 4 passes that were in receivers' hands that were dropped.
Listen.
So I'm like, that should not be, what did we call it?
Butterfinger stat.
Yes, we called it the Butterfinger stat. We need to flip that because if a ball is in your hands and you like, or at least touches your hands, you can catch it. You have the ability to catch it and you drop it. It should not be on the quarterback.
We want a new stat. We want receivers to have a stat for all the times that they had a ball in their hands and dropped it or let it slide completely or like it hit them here and their hands were out here.
Yes.
And also it should be taken off a pass completion because why is that
Bo's fault that his receiver dropped it?
Maybe this is hot take. Maybe everyone's going to yell at us in the comments. You can't do that. I'm sure you guys are all going to tell us. But it just seems like that sucks. And we'll get into it on Monday night's game. A couple like unfortunate things happened to Aaron Rodgers. Just it sucks when they throw something and it's not even their fault. And it's like, oh, he only completed this. Oh, let's talk about the receivers that dropped 3 catches. Or you know what I mean? Like he would have, again, if they would have made that, but butterfingers.
Yes. And it's so hard. Like the Broncos offense in general, just like looked a little frazzled the entire game. I mean, literally until like 3 or 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, they just could not get anything together. I was saying that like the Broncos defense in the first half showed so much promise. Like it really did. There were so many flashes of such good defense.
Oh my gosh.
And in the second half, the defense was a little bit less. The first play of the game
was a pick.
A pick, yep.
Into a safety. Like, it was amazing.
It was fantastic, yes. And so, like, the second half, we struggled a little bit with everything in that third quarter. But then you get to the fourth quarter, and finally, in, like, those last few minutes of the game, we started putting stuff together. There were, you know, completed passes. We were, you know, finally getting first downs. We were converting. And then Bo Nix ran for a touchdown, 4 yards, 4 yards rushing, but he got himself a touchdown. I was so happy for him because I'm just like, after like such a probably like stressful game where he knows that people are going to put this all on him and stuff like that. At least he ended with a touchdown.
Yeah. So lay off on him. First of all.
Yes. Jesus, give him a chance.
I do feel bad though, because I was looking it up and like the next 6 Broncos games, 5 ranked in the top 12 in scoring defense last season. So it may still be rough from here, but like all the people that are like, I've lost all hope. Okay, first of all,
first game of the season,
did you think we were gonna go to the Super Bowl and win over the Kansas City Chiefs in our like division game with a rookie quarterback and like rebuilding all the pieces that we have? Probably not.
Yeah.
But and the goal is to look better we're building.
Yes,
it's not a total rebuild, but it's a new quarterback.
It is. And I feel like he's like a quarterback that we can build around because we do have so many good pieces for him. It's just about kind of working him into that offense and into this team and making it happen. But I just want to add, this is like a little fun tidbit because we love facts. Bo Nix is the first rookie captain for the Denver Broncos since Floyd Little in 1967. So he's the second ever and the first since 1967. So almost 60 years since they've had a rookie quarterback captain. And I just want to say that means that like this team sees so much in him. They see leadership, they see promise, they see a good quarterback who they know that they can trust and believe in. And so I just think that we should trust that and it's going to be fine.
I mean, Seattle didn't look insanely amazing either. They have a good defense. They have a lot of talent because they have, DK Metcalf, Kenneth Walker the third, I think. Yeah. Jackson Smith, Nahigba.
All of that.
Yeah. But like, there were a lot of struggles. Like the offensive line struggled.
Yes, and I just want to say,
won.
Yes, because their offensive line struggled. I have a stat here. Geno Smith was pressured on 47% of his dropbacks, which is more than he's been in I think it was several years. And so for him to have the game that he did, he had a really good game as well. For him to have that game with being pressured on 47% of your dropbacks.
Yeah. Their offensive line was expected to be from the beginning.
And they showed that. But good for Geno Smith. I think their offensive line definitely needs a little bit of work, but their defense, I want to call myself out real quick. I called them a bottom 10 defense a couple of hours before their game. I literally was saying that they were a bottom 10, that they were going to be.
Mike McDonald's defense?
I know. It was a bad take, super silly. But I was they're probably a bottom 10 defense. Yeah. And then they proved me very wrong and I looked very stupid. So shout out to Seattle's defense because they were fantastic. They had 2 sacks in the first half and they quite literally had some of the best pass coverage I have ever seen.
Yeah, their pass coverage was actually insane.
I don't, like I said, I think there were maybe 5 times. Yeah. Maybe 5 plays where guys on the Broncos could get open. They were so good.
I think they're going to be leaning heavily on their defense because again, even though it's almost like last year, you look at how Dallas has so many pieces, but sometimes if one position or group of people the O-line is so important, and I know that the O-line names aren't names that people know, people just say the O-line, people don't, but the O-line is so important because if you don't have any like holes, like
Yeah,
for,
if you don't
for
have
the running
guys
back.
making holes, if
Yeah.
you don't have guys protecting the quarterback.
Or letting him have enough time to even look for the pass is just so important. So I think that Seattle's story this year will mainly be their defense, even though they do have like
their
DK
defense.
Metcalf.
Yeah, I was going to say their defense plus Geno Smith and DK
I
Metcalf.
was really proud of myself for not asking my friend how DK Metcalf smelled.
I know, that's what I was saying. I was like, so like,
Was he nice to you? Did he talk trash?
did he smell good? Like, does he wear
smell good?
cologne during the game? I'm just kidding.
Can you steal his
Yeah.
mouth guard next time?
Man.
Anyway.
Yeah, listen. The Broncos, they will be okay. Seattle looked great. They really did. Like
Seattle looked great.
They did. It felt, I had a little bit of PTSD from the 2014 Super Bowl where Seattle whooped our butts.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit painful to watch, but Broncos will be back and better than ever next week. It's fine, totally fine. I believe in them a little bit. No, I'm just kidding. It was game one.
I'm going to the
cool.
game. I changed my flight to leave here on Sunday morning so that I can go to the game in person. And
It's going to be so fun. I'm so jealous.
I'm so sorry, but I'm really excited to go see
should
my friend
be.
play. It was so good to see him out there. And now we can talk about the other 500 games.
All of the
and
other
there were also
games.
some amazing games. One of the games I was watching that ended up getting like shockingly close, and it went one way the first half and went a different way the second half was Jags and Dolphins.
Yeah.
Which you dropped, Trevor. Oops. Sorry, Trev.
I picked Trevor Lawrence originally. Okay, I just want to say that like with my fantasy draft, I was pick 9 and like all of the quarterbacks were gone.
Yeah.
And so I
that for
picked
you.
Tyreek Hill. Speaking of this game, I picked Tyreek
We'll
Hill
get into that.
as my first pick. So
Yeah.
I was lucky to get him, but then, I didn't really have a lot of good quarterbacks left, but I picked up Trevor Lawrence, dropped him real fast this week. And I picked up Malik Willis. I traded them out.
Yeah, I was like actively watching this game. It was I forgot which game was next to it that I kept. Again, I had like my little 4 screen, and I was
Yes.
going back to listening because I really like the Dolphins roster, and I love Mike McDaniel. He's so funny.
He's the best.
And again, I was raised like an Alabama college football fan, so my dad always follows all the Alabama players, so he loves the Dolphins. He loves
love
Tua.
that.
So Dolphins barely squeaked out a win. They could not, and I was tweeting about it, could not get anything to go in the first half. I was shook. Like I couldn't even believe it. It looked
The
so
O
bad.
line was rough. The O line was so rough. They could not do anything. And I have here as well by the end of the game, just because of like their offensive struggles and everything, by the end of the game, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle had 211 of their 400 offensive yards. So just the two of them were like carrying
Mike
the
McDaniel,
team.
I'm going to praise him for readjusting towards the end of the game.
Totally.
The Jags were outscored 17-0 in the second half.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
period. Because the Dolphins went into the half with only 3 on the board, and they had 17, and they didn't score anything else.
Yep.
Trevor finished 12 of 21 for only 171 yards.
Tough game for him.
Tua finished 23 of 37 for 336 yards. Baby. Tyreek
that's
had an
fantastic.
80-yard touchdown
Yep, I
after
was gonna
his
say.
detainingness.
Yeah. Like I said, I have Tyreek on my fantasy team. And so, first of all, I think it's so funny. I mean, it's not funny, but like, I think it's crazy that like news drops that like Tyreek Hill is being like detained and arrested on the side of the road, like right before the game. And everyone's like, my fantasy team. And I'm like, guys.
And there are more important things. I have this to say about it, and Caitlin and I don't get political at all anywhere.
No.
And this is not meant to be political. I do not like Tyreek Hill as a person. I know he is an abuser. I think he's a fantastic athlete. Again, we say this all the time. Just because you're a fantastic athlete does not absolve you from being a disgusting person. Yeah. But no one deserves for what happened, like what the cops did. It was really disgusting to watch. And
it was scary. It just made me feel
so
sick.
icky, and I felt gross. And then, I hate like thinking of things.
And
I'm
the way that they treated his friend, I think, was an ex-NFL player as well.
that was just trying to ask questions. And
Yes, I mean, like, I'm sorry, but like if I saw you
Yes.
getting detained, shoved down on the ground, like I would pull over and be like, what the hell's happening to my friend? And he was scared.
again,
they were treating him horribly.
I'm not excusing. He was being kind of an asshole. He was like, just give me my ticket. I gotta go. Look, I'm late. But I don't care. If I had said that to a cop, I don't think that would have happened. And that's disgusting. Yeah. So I would have been, and if it had, I would have been terrified. And like, I would never be the same after.
Yeah. And
so
it's just
for him to go out there after that, because I would have been ruined. I literally would be, I don't even know.
And they were talking so disgustingly to him. They were literally shoving their knee in his back. Like he wasn't resisting. Like he was literally.
He's like, I'm getting out. They're like,
yes,
they didn't care.
And they ripped the door open. They shoved him on the ground. They had knees in his back. He was talking about when they were setting him down. He was talking about how he just had knee surgery. Be careful with his knee. And they were like, I don't give an F.
I'm sitting down, and they were like, get down.
Yeah, they just. It was disgusting. And so good for him for having such a good game. And like I said, I don't excuse anything that he's done in the past. No, that's all.
But
that's
that doesn't deserve to happen
me.
To anyone.
Yes.
Police are not the judge, jury, or executioner. So
yes, and so for him to go out and have a game and also take that
80-yard touchdown,
yes, and to like take that situation too at the end, he obviously had tons of questions being asked of him after the game, his post game interviews and stuff, and for him to take that and be like, look. Like, because he didn't sit there and blame the cops. He didn't sit there and act like he was innocent. He just said, let's take this situation and let's make change. And I think that's like the most important.
Respectful, yeah.
Yeah, that's just like the most important thing to take out of this is that like we need to, that this shouldn't be happening.
No, I think that's what, I think I got upset though, because I've seen many videos of girls like me, little white blonde girls or little white brunette girls that are talking like rudely because they think they can to the cops, and the cops don't do anything. So that's what makes me the most upset. If you're not going to do it for everyone that acts like that, then
then don't do it at all.
He wasn't being aggressive towards you. He was just not talking nicely to you. So sorry.
God forbid you're a police officer. You deal with some of the worst humans in the world.
That's what I'm saying.
That's literally your job.
That's how I'm going to say it. The game. I told Caitlin the Jaguars were Jaguarsing.
Yeah, they had a rough.
They were doing what they do.
Yep, and honestly, I think a lot of that too is a testament to the Dolphins' defense. The Dolphins had 10 pressures and 3 sacks. The Dolphins' defense really showed up, and they made it tough for the Jaguars to finish the game.
Travis Etienne had 2 notably catastrophic carries that sunk them. With a 10-point lead, he fumbled the ball in the end zone where Miami recovered for a touchback.
Yep.
And then later with the Jags still leading by 3, he ran left before reversing in the field for a loss of 2 on 4th and 1.
Oof. It was a rough day for the Jags.
Yeah, the turnover on downs felt like a clear indication that the game was out of their hands and it was over.
It was, yes. So like you said, like shout out to Mike McDaniel for whatever he said at halftime because they had Miami had a fantastic second half and the Jags had nothing. They had literally nothing in the second half. And so
you had the opportunity to like
really
take down a playoff team, you were up but I did again, Mike McDaniel trusted his rushing attack more than he, trusted the passing at the end of the game.
Yep.
And
it paid off.
Yes. And I don't think, again, at the beginning, Tua was struggling. At the end, clearly 300 or whatever it was, 336.
Did fantastic by the end.
Closed out the game. Yeah. Again, I've always, even when I would watch Alabama with my dad, we'd be like, they're not a first half team, which it's fine. If you're winning the game, who cares if you're a first half team?
Cares?
As long as you're closing it out. So
it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Clear eyes or
full hearts. No,
clear eyes, full hearts can't lose. As we know, I am the Spencer is Caitlin in the NFL season, and I have a lot of love for a lot of teams.
She loves Joey.
And I love Joey B, but wow, the Bengals got by again, you could have said this back in the day. It would have been like, oh, they lost to the Patriots. So does everyone.
Not these days.
Not the 2024 Patriots. That was
painful.
Like, if there were 2 teams that everyone expected to lose this week, it was the Panthers and the Patriots.
Yep.
And especially it wasn't for them to win against Cincinnati.
Yeah, I truly, besides Patriots fans, I truly don't think that anyone predicted that kind of upset. When you have Joe Burrow back and healthy and you have the Patriots with their rookie coach and just such a young team, they're really
for whatever reason
team.
The Patriots were showing some elite defense.
What was that about?
What was that about?
Literally.
Yeah. Thank you. This was Jamar Chase's first game of football in however many months.
Okay, yes. And let me say this. Jamar Chase, first of all, football players, anyone, stop waiting for your extension. If you're already, like if you're currently under contract and getting paid,
I'm disgusted by you. I'm
up
so
to your
sorry.
freaking practice. Like literally Jamar Chase did not play a single down of 11 v 11.
And it sure showed.
Yes.
It looked
not a single down. And like how do you know your playbook? How do you know how you're going to play with Joe Burrow back
the
and
Bengals,
healthy?
the players and the front office were, you fuck around and find out what happens when you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
Yes.
And
so
they pay your players,
like ass.
but also as a player, you let your team down because you lost to the Patriots. And Joe Burrow didn't look amazing, but the Butterfinger stat should be pulled back for this because I was getting so frustrated. I was texting Kayla. I think she was watching a different game. And I was getting so frustrated because the amount of passes that were directly right here.
Just straight to the chest like you could have caught it.
Caught it. People carrying the ball like this.
Oh, yeah. People were literally walking, like running with the ball.
What are
like
you
this.
doing? It was just disgusting.
We all know how to. We all know.
And then when you
have a lot of room,
have T. Higgins out. Yep. Jamar Chase obviously had his long holdout. So they looked so
offense,
bad.
Yeah, their offense just had nothing going for them. They the score was a very low scoring game. It was 16-10. Obviously, Patriots ended up winning. But I just want to shout out to Ramondre Stevenson. They used him so much because of their obvious like wide receiver struggles and everything like that. Ramondre Stevenson had 25 carries for 120 yards. So he was utilized so much. And he was obviously able to, get them somewhere.
The thing is,
but it was rough.
I'm scared because while the Bengals offense looked bad, the Chiefs offense have looked better than last year, and they're playing each other this week. Yeah. And it's always a big deal with Pat against Joe Burrow. So
the two of the fave
an
quarterbacks.
0-2 start might happen for the Bengals, and I'm like
it's rough,
so upset. So yeah,
Jamar I would Chase, just say that was a rough game.
You need your receiver connection back with your literal old teammate, my guy.
Sir,
show up to practice. I mean, I'd be pissed though if I'm the QB and I'm like, you were literally like, I'm sorry, you have millions and millions of dollars, and you're just begging to get millions and millions of dollars more. Just show up. In my opinion, if I'm a front office, I'm like, oh, look at him. He's at practice every day.
Straight up.
We need to get his contract underway. If you're not showing up, that's pissing me off.
Yes.
I don't want to give you hundreds of millions.
I wouldn't want to.
I don't want to give you hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
I know it's like a both way. Like everyone's frustrated with each other, I guess, but I don't care. It was just...
And before we end talking about this game, I just want to shout out to the Patriots coach, Jared Mayo. Little rookie coach. He had like a fantastic coaching game. I feel like he did really great with his play calling, and to have such a young team and to pull out a win that no one expected you to pull out. I know that obviously
they were 7.5 point underdogs, I believe.
Yes,
I think
and
right.
for them to literally like no one really believed in them, and they were one of the worst teams in the league last year, and for Jared Mayo to come out with this really young team and pull out a win against a Bengals team that everyone expected to be really, really good, shout out to you. That's got to feel really good for them. So that's dope.
Yeah. Speaking of other games that didn't go as people thought was the Titans versus Bears, which you have two quarterbacks that everyone's intensely watching. So they had Will Levis. He converted on some crucial third downs. He had a one on 3rd and 15 to the new wide receiver Calvin Ridley, but then he threw a pick as he was being tackled. And the pick was in the end zone for the Bears.
Oh, I did see that play.
Ooh, so the good news is that Tennessee has found its running back with Tony Pollard, former Cowboy.
Yes.
And, he was a consistent guy, averaging more than 5 yards a carry. Like I said earlier, I love a good running back that you can trust to, get almost a first down or close to it every carry. And then Tennessee's defense really made things difficult for Caleb Williams. And again, he's a rookie.
Yes.
Be nice.
I was just about to say, so like I have like a couple things about this because he is really cool stat, but it's not really like because of him. But so he's the first quarterback drafted at number 1 to win in his NFL debut.
We were talking about
2002, which is great, but he was not like
he
the
wasn't
story.
the reason.
He wasn't the story for the Bears.
It was the
Bears,
defense and the special teams.
Exactly. Yes, I have
Simone
the special
Biles'
teams.
husband got a touchdown.
Yes, he did. It was a blocked punt, I think.
Yes, on a blocked punt. Jonathan
returned
Owens,
for a touchdown, and they had 3 field goals. And defense sealed the game with a pick 6 by Tyreek Stevenson.
Yeah. So honestly, it's when you have a defense that's doing things like that, it's going to give him time to,
Do you know how many total yards the Bears got on offense? The whole game? No. 148. Total offensive yards was 148. So to win a game, shout out to the Bears special teams and defense, because to win a game with 148 offensive yards, like that's crazy.
Yeah, be nice to the rookie quarterbacks after one week. Wait until like the third game to start hating on them.
Yeah, give them a little bit of time.
Just give them like the third game to start talking shit.
Literally. Speaking of quarterbacks, obviously quarterbacks is like a really big name of the game for week 1.
And for always.
And for always, truly. But with the Steelers, obviously we all knew that there was a big quarterback competition between Justin Fields and Russell Wilson.
Who we're still paying. The Broncos.
Awkward. Russell Wilson was named QB1 for game 1. And then right before the game, Justin Fields had to come in because Russell Wilson had a calf injury. And so then I'm just like, how awkward is that for like the Steelers like head coach to be like, all right, Russell Wilson, you're our number 1 guy. F you, Justin Fields. And then he's like, Justin.
Hey,
bestie.
I know what I said.
I know what I said. I take it back.
I take it back,
buddy.
Yeah.
Yes, but he did really good. He was 17 for 23.
He didn't lead the offense to any touchdowns, but he did enough.
Yes, he did enough. He was 17 for 23 for 156 yards. Yeah. Yes, he did what he could.
He did fine.
The thing about
0 turnovers.
Yes, and the thing about what's his butt? Justin Fields, thank you. I don't know how I forgot his name in like that 2 seconds, but the thing about Justin Fields is that he's a great rushing quarterback, and so he did rush 14 times for 57 yards. He's one of those guys that like, I can do it myself. Like if you can't get anything going, he's the kind of guy that is able to take the ball himself and run the ball.
If you had told me that there were 3 turnovers by a team in a game and 2 interceptions that were thrown, I would not think that Kirk Cousins was the one that would have.
I was literally just like thinking about like the Steelers defense truly showed up. Like they made it hard for Kirk Cousins to do
on Sunday.
Anything. Yes, they made it
scared.
Yes, and that's what scares me a little bit about the Steelers on Sunday is that obviously we have sweet rookie quarterback Bo Nix. And the Steelers defense is a fantastic defense.
And it'll be interesting to see, like, is Russell coming for revenge next week, or is he still out? Or this Sunday? I don't know.
And is Sean Payton going to call run plays instead, since they obviously saw that the Steelers defense didn't allow anything to happen. Yeah, Kirk Cousins. And like the hard part about the Falcons is that Kirk Cousins is surrounded by Bijan Robinson, Drake London, and Kyle Pitts. And the same O-line, the same veteran O-line that they've had. Like this should be a fantastic offense. There's no way that they should have lost that game.
45 yards in a scoreless second half by Kirk or the Falcons.
Yeah. That's a rough game for the Falcons.
In his 6 previous season openers, Cousins has thrown 11 touchdown passes against 2 interceptions. But on Sunday, there were no touchdowns and 2 picks, one in the fourth quarter.
It was a rough game for them.
The Falcons were 2 for 9 on third downs.
Ow. So 0 conversions. I mean, I guess 2, but that's
awkward.
Rough. Yeah, like I said, like with the offense that you have, you should be able to make something happen.
You should.
And so I think that's maybe a little bit of a testament to the Steelers defense, but it's also a testament to the fact that the Falcons offense needs to kind of mesh a little bit better. They need to figure it out.
Y'all got some shit to work out.
Yeah, a little bit of a game plan change. Yep. Oh, but I also wanted to say this. See, Chris Boswell, which is the Steelers kicker, he had 3 50-plus yard field goals that he made. 51 yards, 56 yards, and 57 yards. Those are long-ass field goals.
Nice.
And he made all 3 of them. He's the first Steeler with 3 50-plus yard field goals ever in a game. Period. I mean, not just like ever, but like in a game. So good for him. Good game for the Steelers. Rough game for the Falcons. I'm scared to see the Steelers next week, but it's going to be fine. A really like funny game. I don't know. Like another really odd game was the Commanders versus Buccaneers game. And I feel like that's like one of those games where like no one except for Commanders and Buccaneers fans are watching. Like it's not like one that you're like super excited about.
No.
But the Buccaneers beat the Commanders 37-20.
Shocking.
That's a fat offensive game for the Buccaneers.
Yeah, Washington's defense was very, very terrible last year. They were dead last in points and total yards allowed.
Yep.
And if there was any hope of that improving drastically, I don't think they showed it on Sunday
at all.
The Commanders gave up 37 or more points in 6 games last year, and that is double any other team in the NFL.
Holy crap. That's a lot.
Yeah, poor tackling was, I think, like a lot of the problem. Dan Quinn said it was no excuse to cite the lack of physicality allowed in training camp, and third down was like a really bad problem. The Bucs were 9 for 13, converting at a higher rate than any Washington opponent last season. So they were outmatched, clearly.
Wow. And I do just want to say, like, because obviously the Commanders' defense was rough. 37 points getting scored on you is tough. But shout out to rookie quarterback Jaden Daniels for the Commanders. He was one of like the best rushing quarterbacks. I think he rushed for 1,187 yards at LSU last year.
Period.
Fantastic rushing quarterback. And he is a rookie in this game he had 88 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 16 carries.
Dang.
So as a rookie, you know, given the game that is being played and everything like that, what a fantastic debut for him. And what a good pickup for anyone that has him on fantasy football. Truly, he showed out, and he played a fantastic game of football. It sucks that he didn't have more, I guess, surrounding him. Yeah. But that's the hard part, is that the receivers could not get open because of the Bucs defense. The Bucs defense was all over them, and their run game was pretty much non-existent. They could not get anything.
Yeah, so. I mean, the Bucs, a lot of people were worried because they have a new offensive coordinator, but Baker threw for 289 yards and 4 touchdowns, 2 to Mike Evans.
He had a huge game.
He was exceptional on third downs. Like
That's
I just
why I said Browns would have been better with Baker.
The Bucs went 9 for 13, one of the best conversion rates in their history.
Yeah.
You know, Cohen, who took over after Dave Canales left to become Carolina's head coach, had a solid mix of runs and passes.
Thanks for that.
Period.
Thank you for that.
And the Bucs didn't score 30 or more until I think game 9, until week 9 of last season. So, but in their first game, he did great calling plays. Mayfield's passer rate of, it was 146.4, is the second best ever against Washington for a quarterback with at least 30 pass attempts. So cute. So Baker did the damn thing. I've never been like truly a big fan of Baker Mayfield, but cute. So that was that.
Yeah, that was that game. That was, like I said, that wasn't like a
super exciting game.
I have the Commanders winning this week, by the way, week 2.
Period.
Go Commanders. As Broncos fans, we hate the Chiefs, but we also hate the Chargers and the Raiders. Okay,
Period.
They played each other this week, and I'm like a hater to the core, like in the NFL.
Yes.
Again, NBA, I love everyone.
We switch sides.
It's so funny, yes, but like I cannot stand the Raiders. I cannot stand the Chargers. I cannot stand the Chiefs. Okay,
yeah.
It's just been the AFC West has always been just such a freaking hot pile of crap.
Garbage.
It's a mess.
Garbage.
Yes. And so the Chargers and Raiders played each other this week. Chargers actually looked really good, and I hate saying that. It hurts me to say that. They beat the Raiders 22-10.
Especially after they didn't have a good preseason.
Yes. I know. It was so frustrating. And so here's the thing, too, is that the Chargers actually struggled the first 3 quarters with their offense. Like, it's not like they, like, came out and were like, we're dominant, we're incredible. They had a rough first 3 quarters. They made it to the red zone 6 times, and they got in the red zone, got a total of 6 yards. They did not score a single touchdown.
Yeah.
In the first 3 quarters when they were in the red zone.
The Chargers finished 0 for 7 on third downs in the first half and had just 83 total yards.
Awful. Yes, it was horrible.
Garbage.
They had a horrible first half. But in the fourth half, J.K. Dobbins had a rushing touchdown, and there was a Ladd McConkey receiving touchdown. They finally were able to put it together in that fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Chargers in the fourth quarter looked better than I have seen them probably in several years.
J.K. Dobbins finished with 135 yards on 10 carries.
Yes, monster game for him. He did so good. I was going to say I have that one. He had a 61-yard rush in the fourth quarter.
And the Chargers finished, the running game seemed to click with them because they finished with 176 rushing yards.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. And here's the thing is that like the Raiders just like could not get their shit together.
Yeah.
They had multiple turnovers. I think the Raiders had several. The Ravers. We're going to the club. Okay, sorry. I don't know what that was. Here I am, the girl that's never been to a club. Going to the club.
Tell us what it's like.
I wouldn't know. But they just had so many costly fumbles. I mean, literally turnovers that costed them the game. Obviously, you only scored 10 points in the entire game, so it's not like you were like a big offensive monster in the game anyway. But when you have, I think it was like 2 or 3 fumbles that literally ended up leading to any sort of points, either like a field goal or a touchdown on the other end for the Chargers.
Yeah.
That sucks. That ruins the game for you. So hold on to the damn ball.
Yeah, the Chargers are going to...
Please and thank you.
Yeah, I mean, the run game is always important, but, I mean, you need both. And when you have a talented quarterback, you definitely need them to throw for more than 144 yards, especially if you're going to come out of the AFC West with playoff hopes.
With Pat Mahomes.
So...
as your competition.
Yeah.
So the Raiders looked
getting
like
sacked
that.
4 times, holding on to the ball too long doesn't look good.
Nope.
For you Raiders fans. Hi, friends.
Can you see my sweat? You tell we've had a moment.
Caitlin and I just had to go take a trip over the river and through the woods. All I have to say is no one should be living in the desert. And that's that. The humans were not meant to live in the desert. If we went back and told Christopher Columbus that people were living in the desert, I think he would fall over and die. So
he's already dead.
He'd die again. So
he would do it all over again.
I hate Arizona.
Yeah, can you tell my hair? It's so beautiful. We went for a walk in the desert.
It was my idea. For sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she definitely was like, let's do it. You and me, bestie. We just had to go pick up my kid from school. It's fine.
It's fine.
It was 105 degrees.
Thriving. Burr! Woo!
Chilly one.
I just took my jacket off, guys. So I think we left off complaining about how the Chargers and Raiders don't, look like they're going to be winning the Super Bowl. So on to the next.
On to the next one.
On to the next one. You know what other team definitely has no chance in hell of making it to the Super Bowl, Caitlin?
Was it the Carolina Panthers?
The Carolina. Wow.
Did I guess right?
Yeah. Are there fans? Because if there are,
I know some Panthers fans. They've got to be hurting.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Yikeroonies.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone knew they were going to lose, but like seeing a regression in Bryce Young, your previous, Alabama quarterback. Yeah. Wow. So Carolina changed play callers like multiple times last year.
Yep.
But his passing rate was never as low as the 32.8% he had against the Saints.
Yeah, let's just start with the fact that the score was 47-10, which I think they were saying is the highest amount of points the Saints have ever scored in a season debut.
Yeah.
So the Panthers got
to say you're a work in progress.
Spanked.
They got belt to ass, as some people like to say.
Yeah.
They rushed 20 times for 58 yards.
Ooh.
None longer than 8 yards. Ow. And the top 2 receivers totaled 54 yards on 13 targets. So lots of room for growth.
Ouch. I just man.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think like I saw someone talking about it, and it's just such a good way to put it. Like normally in week 1, it's really hard to like look at teams and be like, oh, they're screwed.
Well,
the Panthers, they're screwed.
To
They're
be
one of
fair,
the teams.
Derek Carr for the Saints looked really good. He completed
did.
19 for 23 for 200 yards and 3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns.
In 160 career games. It's his second highest passing rate ever. So, I don't know. Sorry, you luck of the draw, Panthers.
And like, okay, I just want to shout out this a cornerback for the Saints too, Alontae Taylor. He's a cornerback for the Saints. He had 3 sacks, and he had this is such a random stat, but I think it's really cool. He had the team's top speed in one of their blitzes at 20.64 miles per hour.
Okay.
He ran 20.64 miles per hour. That's hard to do in a car. Like, it's not, but like that's impressive, dude.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Mr. Beans.
Welcome back.
Yeah, there was just truly there was zero defense. They had absolutely no pass rush for like the Panthers. They had nothing. They had no answers for the Saints offense. They had no answers on their own offense. Like they couldn't do anything. It was rough. And Bryce Young, I'm so bad. I'm so bad. I'm so sorry, but like he was so bad.
So
he had an interception the very first play of the game, and then he opened the second half with an interception as well.
But Derek Carr has continued on his ending of good season. He had 15 touchdown passes in his past 5 games after totaling 13 in his first 13 games with the Saints.
Good for him, and go me for picking him for my other fantasy quarterback.
Slay. So we didn't, no offense, but we don't really care to talk about really terrible teams too much. And more other games that, again, weren't that exciting. Vikings versus Giants. Sorry, Giants fans, if you exist. I don't know. I
think there's some Giants fans out there.
Yeah, I mean.
Rough day for them.
I think everyone was kind of worried, and we talked about it, how JJ McCarthy, everyone was really excited about him, and then he got injured. But it turns out Sam Darnold, actually, he might be pretty good. He got off to a great start against a terrible Giants secondary, so that we
they did.
So what is it? Take that with a
grain of salt.
Yeah, take that with a grain of salt. But he completed his first 12 passes and ended up with 19 for 24, 208 yards. That's touchdown performance.
Monster like debut game,
especially when you're just finding out at like a couple weeks ago, right? That he was gonna be starting. Yep. So
I don't have a lot to say about that game besides the fact that Darnold, it shouldn't be a last name.
Hey Arnold. Hey Darnold.
See, yeah, like I think it should be Arnold, and I feel like they faked it and said Darnold instead.
Yeah,
that's my 2 cents.
He has, of course, like he made good use of amazing people on his team, like Justin Jefferson, who got a short touchdown on a 44-yard pass. You know, he's surrounded by a ton of talent, and he was the number 3 overall pick of the 2018 draft. So, like, he's not brand new to the game. He's been around, so he's always had talent. He's just had probably the most terrible coaching ever. Because he was in Carolina. Makes sense. And with the Jets. So, I mean, maybe, again, we always say it's all about where you are. So maybe this is just an opportunity for him to grow and actually showcase the talent that he clearly has always had.
And they always say that, like, the Jets organization is where quarterbacks go to die.
Just like the Broncos.
Like the Broncos. So if you're Sam Darnold, you know, like this could be like his
revival
chance.
season. Mm-hmm. So we'd love that for him. I have no notes on the Giants because you guys suck. So
they were bad.
That was the one game that I didn't get to watch much of. So I don't have any live kind of.
Me neither. I didn't.
Things
that was
that
one of
I
the only
picked
ones I
up
didn't
or
see.
anything on the team. That's just what I gathered from the little bit that I watched, and then just looking up some stuff to see how he did. And it seemed like he did pretty well. So getting into, the last several games of NFL Week 1, we had Texans versus Colts, which Texans, of course, have a very promising team.
CJ Stroud.
They've got so much talent. They have 3 number 1 receivers: Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Stephon Diggs.
Must be nice.
Can't relate. They have. I can. The Cowboys can. Ow! This is why it's nice to have more than one team. It all makes sense now.
I love this for you.
And they've got an amazing tight end in Dalton Schultz. And then or one of my fantasy running backs, Joe Mixon, who is like puts just the X factor on, it's like one of the best rosters in my opinion.
Yeah.
And, they had an amazing win against the Colts. He rushed for 159 yards on 5.3 yards per carry.
With a touchdown.
And that was like integral for pulling out the victory. So last season, the Texans were like totally overly dependent on CJ Stroud to pull out the wins for them.
They finally have guys around them.
And they had like the league's number 23 in rushing offense. So now with Mixon, they have a guy so now you have talent on your receivers. You have talent in the running back. You've got great offensive pieces.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's kind of how I feel about like, it's really funny too, because like the Colts, they just were kind of like whatever to me.
Yeah.
But like they kind of came out.
They're underrated.
Yes.
That's my bold take.
Me too. I know. I totally agree because Anthony Richardson had 3 50-plus yard passes over the Texans defense.
They did both great on both ends of the ball. They had four sacks and 10 QB hits on Stroud.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they went.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
They nailed
them. They have an amazing depth up front. And so while they did lose, I think that they are an underrated AFC contender.
Yes, they have such good like long game receivers, and Anthony Richardson is such a fantastic like long pass type quarterback. But when you put like the fantastic fast receivers together with a really good O-line as well, because you have to have a good O-line to be able to make those really long passes, those 60-yard, 54-yard passes, because they had a 60-yard pass for a touchdown and a 54-yard touchdown. And in order to do that, you have to have a fantastic O-line to give this guy time in the pocket. You have to have
100%. You're talking about the pass rushes. Yeah, they had one of the league's best
Pashmina.
One of the league's best pass rushes, and they're on track to do it again this year. Like, incredible. They had 4 different players recording at least half a sack, and
that's fantastic.
Also adding and linebackers Zaire Franklin, EJ Speed also added a quarterback hit apiece. Like, rookie edge rusher Latu was the first defensive player taken in the 2024 draft. Didn't register a stat in his debut, but he's expected once he gets comfortable to add. So they are stacked with defensive players.
Yes, but one thing that I will say is that Indy's run defense was not that great. That's that's how the Texans scored so much, because they had no run defense at all. So, I mean, you're kind of fucked there.
We gotta have both, okay?
Yeah. So, I mean, great pass coverage. That's
great
awesome.
Pass coverage. You guys are slaying that side, but
let's get back to the running backs, besties.
All right, just to let you know, usually if you just create a big huddle, they can't get through.
That's how it goes.
That's my tip.
You don't want them to make the holes. There's a
no
hole.
gaps to be had.
Yeah, there's a little gap.
You're not
a little
the Colorado
hole,
Buffaloes.
And you push. That's called a block. When you push that open, you just and then and then they have holes. You don't want that to happen.
But go team on the pass rushing. Woo! You still lost. Anyway,
underrated team though. Go Colts.
Go Colts. So, period. I was unexpected for me.
Me too. I was not. Like I said, didn't even think about them.
Yeah.
Didn't even think about them.
Speaking of people that have, things good, we have a mix of a good and mix of a bad. Josh Allen. Josh Allen is still doing Josh Allen things, both good and bad.
The Bills versus Cardinals game was such a weird game to me.
So interesting.
It was because I was baffled by the lack of Bills offense in the first half, and by the monstrous Cardinals offense in the first half. It was so insane.
To know that the Cardinals had a 17-3 lead against the Bills at one point.
It was right before the half.
Josh Allen now has, I'm so sorry, please, I hope you're not watching this, has 76 turnovers dating back to the start of the 2020 season, and that's the most in the NFL over that time frame. Okay, sorry.
Ever.
Didn't mean to bring that up, but I had to. Okay.
Sorry, bestie. So one thing that I want to talk about, though, that I think is really cool, because, people are still talking about the new kickoff rules and stuff like that. But the one thing that I've been having a lot of fun with is obviously watching actual returns.
It's so fun.
Okay. And Sir DJ Dallas for the Arizona Cardinals had a touchdown with his kick return, and he did fantastic. It was like, I think it was like the first one of the season, and watching it, I was just like, my heart is full. That was such a beautiful return. And he scored. And I just like I said, I love those plays. And so shout out to him, because those are not easy to do. What a fantastic return. It was so much fun to watch. And the Cardinals, I will say that, like, while the Cardinals obviously had a 17-3 lead for like most of the game, they ended the game with 28 points. Obviously the Cardinals defense was non-existent in the second half. It was non-existent. But their offense, I would say, was actually pretty steady the entire game. They had pretty consistent offense. They scored well. They got down the field pretty well in the second half, scoring an 11 points in the second half after 17 in their first half. So, I mean, good for them, good for their offense, because I thought they were going to be booty hole this year. I mean, truly, I was like, I gave them nothing. Okay. And so for them to have such a consistent offense throughout the entire game was great. They had obviously a really great defense. Or Josh Allen just sucked in the first half.
So everyone was really excited about the rookie debut of number 4 overall pick, Marvin Harrison Jr. And he looked really good during preseason and practice. Like, he ran his routes well. He looked like pretty much unguardable. And in his NFL debut, he finished with 1 reception for 4 yards on 3 targets. So that included Kyler Murray appearing to miss a wide open Harrison down the field in the final possession of the game, with the Cardinals driving for the winning score. So if he would have caught that would have saved probably those shitty stats, and you probably would have won the game.
I know, or at least got into overtime. I mean, the final score was 34-28. So they could have won the game.
Yeah, it was like, I mean, that was a part of like a larger issue of getting like the ball downfield for the Cards. Like, they finished with 2 receptions of 20 plus yards only.
Yeah. And
Arizona had a really bad time protecting Murray, who was sacked 4 times by Buffalo's defense.
The O-line was rough.
So while Josh Allen did do shitty to begin the game, he did what he can do, and he came out in like the second half of the game with his little Superman cape and came to the rescue. So
annoying.
I know. He finished 18
Good for him, though.
He finished 18 of 23 for 232 yards and 2 touchdowns with no interceptions, and he ran 7 times for 41 yards and 2 scores. So
huge.
Period. With Stephon Diggs now in Houston, Allen completed passes to 9 different pass catchers on Sunday.
Wow.
So while you started the game off doing what you do best, turning the ball over, at least you still won the game.
Yeah, I think they were saying that he had 1 target that he missed, like one player that he did not complete.
All right. So everyone was talking shit on the internet, and then you came out and told them to shut up, sit down and shut up. What a long... So many games, and now we're
so happy if you're still here.
If you've watched, or if you're just joining us because you clicked on the chapters, hello.
Hey, besties.
Hey, besties. For the Sunday night game and the Monday night game, that's what we're going to talk about. So Lions and Rams went to OT, baby, and I fell asleep in the middle of it.
Stop.
Not because it was boring. It was such a good game, and I watched most of it. I just was very, very tired. It was an amazing, amazing game.
Yeah,
I love the Lions team.
I think the Lions definitely came out and like showed us the exact Lions team that we saw last year. That was just so close.
Shocked everybody.
Yeah, that was just, so close to getting to the Super Bowl for the first time and stuff.
And they showed that they fixed their biggest weakness from last year, which was the secondary.
And they did so good. It was such a fun game to watch. I feel like the Lions-Rams game, obviously with it going to overtime, it was very give and take, but like it was one of those games where it's just like you were getting like stops on both ends, or you were It
was just a great football game on both sides.
It was. Yeah. It was just so dominant. Everyone looked good.
Yeah.
I don't think there were like, at least in my opinion, I don't think there were any like huge failures on either end. Like, it was just a good football game.
And those guys, their first round pick, Terrion Arnold, and free agent Carlton Davis did amazing at disrupting the Rams receivers. They did. We love corners.
Such a big fan of cornerbacks.
We love cornerbacks.
Let me tell you that right now.
They did not give them a lot of room to operate in the catching game.
They didn't. And like, you know what? I feel like cornerbacks can be such an underrated piece of a game. And the only reason that I say that is because like when you see cornerbacks, like you don't see, like you'll see, their interceptions or whatever, But like you don't see the fact that they're on
causing
the
that
receivers.
incomplete, baby.
Yeah, you don't see that they're out there like covering these receivers like up the ass.
Well, since technology hates us, we finished this whole episode only to go back and realize that it cut off halfway when we were just talking. I think we were just talking about quarterbacks.
I love cornerbacks.
Talking about the Lions and Rams OT, which, as we've just told ourselves, I guess we were talking to ourselves. Okay.
Love that. We had a good chat. Sorry you didn't get to experience it.
Moving on, obviously they gave the Rams little room to operate, not many yards after the catch, and they really shut them down. Aiden Hutchinson is a dog, is a beast. Aiden Hutchinson.
He is.
Can't say his name right. Sorry.
Aiden Hutchinson is that guy.
He is that guy. He leads the pass rush. The Lions defense finally looks to compete, wow. I'm over it.
Mm-hmm.
The Lions defense finally looks complete, which it definitely did not last season. And I think I said this in the first NFL preview that I think it could be enough, of course, to at least get them to return to the NFC Championship at the very, very least. Goff completed 18 of his 28 pass attempts for 217 yards with 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and an 85.0 passer rating.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
He, like I said, like
you
10
don't
minutes
know,
ago,
but we do.
the quarterbacks were the name of this game.
Yes.
Truly, Matthew Stafford and the defenses, of course. Mm-hmm. Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff both had fantastic games. They both showed up, and both defenses showed up. And I just this was like one of those games, like you were saying about like the Lions getting back to the NFC Championship. This was one of those games where like you look at the Lions and you're like, that is a dominant team.
Yeah,
that is a very good team.
But like, not to belittle, even though the Rams lost in OT. I mean, I don't think there's a better coach QB combo in the NFC than Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford was insane for the Rams. He finished 34 of 49. That's literally almost double the pass attempts that Goff had.
That is 75% almost pass completion.
85.
Oh, that was the 85, duh.
Or they both were 85. So he was 85.2.
Beautiful.
Passing for 317 yards they both had 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and beautiful pass rating. Their offensive line obviously was devastated by injuries, and they lost Puka Nacua for like 6 weeks, I think. Yep. But they, figured out a way to generate enough offense. And we, again, talked about this. They are so good at the quick pass game, which you have to do when you have an insane Lions pass rush team that is just
absolutely
like flawless. And the fact to get those, I don't know, just to have the mentality or the IQ to get out of the pocket and immediately make a quick short pass just to,
Yes, to be able to like, okay, ball is snapped.
On the fly, like
you just have to literally look left, right, find your guy and like pass it. Like you have time for nothing else. Nothing else really matters. Like you're literally finding your man. Your man has to get open. You make that pass and it has to be a good, perfect
And after, you have a ton of injuries on your offensive line and you lose Puka Nacua and you still generate 387 yards of offense and 317 passing yards.
I would say that they're probably another underrated team.
Yes, 100%. Like you do that against, one of the NFC's best teams while you are missing a bunch of your players. So
yeah, and like not only are you missing a bunch of your players, but like you're missing some of your like your best offensive pieces, like your most important ones. So I don't know. That was a good game. It was beautiful. We love beautiful football. We got to talk about it twice.
It was that good.
It was so good. We had so much fun.
Moving on to one of my other favorite teams that I'm also supposed to hate as a Cowboys fan.
Ew.
Jets and 49ers, baby boy, did the 49ers run away with it. Jordan Mason had a amazing coming out party on Monday night in front of everybody in his first start of the NFL. The undrafted rookie carried the ball 28 times for 147 yards and a touchdown. The 28 carries were more than he ever got in the league or in college at Georgia Tech. So
he ran that ball, baby.
Not like, I can't tell you, I kept texting Caitlin. I was like, this kid is incredible. He was breaking through. I literally couldn't believe my own eyes that he was the backup. because
Totally,
you have
yes.
Christian McCaffrey out. We're not going to talk about it. He found out Friday, which apparently we weren't supposed to know. Whoops.
Whoops, sorry,
He found out right before the game that he was starting.
Whoops.
49ers. A nice $45,000 fine for you.
My bad.
They're bad. That you're going to be starting. And then you said, hold my beer. Don't worry, guys. I'm not going to let you down.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I know we already talked about this. Sorry, everyone. But we were talking about how, like, when you are an undrafted rookie,
Yes.
and you are coming in,
you don't have the name Christian McCaffrey attached to you.
You are coming in behind the best, or one of the best, if not the best, running backs in the entire league in Christian McCaffrey.
Yes.
On one of the best teams. You're a part of the, returning
Amazing offense.
Yes, these guys were just in the Super Bowl. Fantastic offense. You have so many good pieces. You've got Deebo Samuel, all these guys, and you're coming in behind Christian McCaffrey. Like you're getting like 2 hours.
They were
notice.
setting him up for failure almost, honestly.
Truly,
Like, truly.
literally. And so, like, and you come in this game.
No one expected him to,
No, and he has this giant dominant game. Like, good for him, because that's going to have other teams looking
Good
at
for him
and
and good for the 49ers, because now
They're
you know
lucky.
that you don't have to run Christian McCaffrey in the ground. Like, you have
Truly.
another truly amazing running back. 49ers are just loaded on.
It's disgusting.
On offense. It's literally disgusting. But I mean, obviously everyone knows, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, Kyle,
Isn't his wife the one that makes the really cute outfits?
Yes,
love her.
I love her. I knew about her first. Yes.
Me too.
She's
Yes.
so cute. So I was glad
Yes.
because he was having himself a damn game on Monday.
Yeah.
He did so good. So, I mean, as many stars as they have, they have always been carried by their defense. And Fred Warner is a dog. He stripped Breece Hill and recovered the fumble that set up the first of 6 Jake Moody field goals. Shout out to their kicker.
Yeah,
He
that's
was-
impressive.
so
That's 18 points just for you.
I had to
Whoever
tell her
has
'cause
him
I
on
was-
fantasy.
I was telling her about the game because she was out and about, and I was like, oh, like the game sounded high, but they had 6 field goals. So Brock Purdy didn't put up huge numbers. He did have 19 of 29 for 231 yards. My question for you, Caitlin, it's like I didn't just ask you this.
Do you get deja vu? Oh.
Do you get deja vu? Anyway, Caitlin, for this very special question that you've never heard before, do you think that Brock Purdy is a superstar, or do you think he's like just an averagely good quarterback with an amazing team under him?
My averagely good quarterback is the way to put it. Okay, so
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like he's obviously not bad.
No, he's not a bad quarterback. So my thought is definitely that while he is a good quarterback,
Yes.
I don't think that he's someone that's like, if he was put on the Jets, like Aaron
He's
Rodgers,
not gonna solve
he's not
everything.
going to solve
Yeah.
everything. He's not that kind of guy.
Well, Aaron Rodgers can't even.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
a really good quarterback.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Is like
Yeah.
he's not like that kind of quarterback that you'd like throw on a team to fix it.
Yeah.
I think he's a good quarterback, and I think he can be clutch and he can be good when you need him to be. But I just think that he has some of the best offensive pieces in the entire NFL. I mean, literally you have some of the best offensive pieces. Like you have some of the best tight end, some of the best with George Kittle, some of the best running backs and receivers. Like you have such a good team around you that like you're kind of made to look good.
He had a couple of big
of that.
throws, and he started out well, and he kind of ended well. In the middle, there were several passes that I was like, "What?
What was
that? Oh my god!"
Careful
just, like way over receivers.
You were saying that he was throwing passes like 6 yards above people's head.
I was like, "Where was that going?"
Or straight into the ground. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like just really low passes or really high. So it was again. He ended up like rounding out the game totally fine.
That's what I'm saying. I would say that he's like overall, he's fine.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
he can be good.
You don't really, of course. Like, I mean, could you imagine if the 49ers though had like Patrick Mahomes on the like that would be insane. I can't, thank God. So
I don't want to imagine.
Yeah, they 49ers ran 31 more plays than New York and had the ball for 17 more minutes. So
absolutely insane.
Poor Aaron Rodgers, the Jets, poor run
sad
game.
boy.
poor run game, some terrible drops on offense. Just as a team, New York ran for only 68 yards on 19 rushing attempts, and half of those yards came on the team's final drive. I felt so bad for Aaron Rodgers, and
he looked sad on the sideline.
So sad. He wasn't even like being like an a-hole. Like he was just like you could see the desperation in his eyes. Like, come on. And I was telling Caitlin about one of the passes where he had thrown and someone in just one of the quarterbacks tipped it, and another of the 49ers guys was just waiting to recover it. So it was just like misfortunes on his end. I felt really bad.
Yeah, and we were talking about too, like when you're someone like Aaron Rodgers, who's obviously like a very well-seasoned vet. He's one of the oldest guys that we still have playing in the league.
You can't fix the entire team.
Yeah, he played
You're
4
one guy.
downs. He played 4 downs last year before getting injured for the Jets, and that was his Jets debut, was the 4 downs.
Yeah.
And, it's already a rough team. He, spends the entire last year injured, but like,
and he still comes back.
And he comes back and he's like, all right, Jets team, time to get fixed. It's just not that easy.
Yeah.
When you don't really fix anything else and you're just like, oh, well, Aaron Rodgers is coming back. We're going to be fine.
It's fine. He plays one position and you need a lot more than just one to win a game.
Yeah. You need guys to catch his passes.
Yeah. So NFL Week 2 starts tonight. I'm going to edit this while we're watching the game, so we can maybe sometime get this for you eventually.
Maybe
tonight.
I'll get to watch it tonight.
Maybe next year. Who knows? We've been trying to film this for
2025.
Like 5
birthday.
hours. For 5 hours. It's fine. We're so fine.
We're literally so okay.
Yeah. So follow us on all the socials. Go buy our merch, please. Go on our Patreon. Go on all of the things. Go our link tree has all of the things. Listen, I haven't eaten yet. Wow, it's a day. Anyway,
it is a day, but honestly, we're so happy you're here.
Thank you for joining us.
So happy NFL season is back.
Next week will likely be remote.
Yes, we're gonna figure that out for you.
Sure will.
Yeah. Download Wunderfan, buy our merch. Like, subscribe, comment,
tell your friends.
We love you.
If you don't want to see us remotely doing Zoom and editing off of Zoom, then make us, tell all your friends to subscribe to us, and we, won't have to do that. Okay?
Period.
And then maybe if you subscribe enough, we can maybe finally get our own studio, and we won't have to worry about Caitlin's children coming in.
Yeah, what do you mean? Or like me painting and not putting the light thing back on.
It's fine. Anyway, it's been a damn day, so we are going to get the hell out of here.
Baby, and go watch some football.
Hope you loved it. Love you, miss you, bye.
It's Flag Day, gotta get down on Flag Day. Everybody's looking forward to penalties.
That was so good.
Flag Day.
Getting down on Flag Day. Nobody's gonna play a down of football.
5 yards back. Wow!
5 yards. 20. Flag.
Looking forward to the penalties.
I think we keep that in. I feel like we kind of.
I feel like we have to.